What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Bourbon of the Week. My name's Chris. I'm going to be your host for today, and today is round number 2 of our March Madness Bourbon Bracket Single Barrel Edition, brought to you by the Great Whiskey Challenge. We have Old Forester Single Barrel versus Four Roses OESK. Let's pour these up, but first, a word from our sponsor. That's right, guys. Throughout all of March, we are going to be showing off some amazing products from Great Whiskey Challenge. This right here is their hard case travel kit, and check this bad boy out. First of all, you open it up, you have your 3 glasses displayed right here, A, B, and C, and then you have 8 different bottles that you can put samples in, as well as your instructions and your podium here. 4 more bottles in the bottom. This is an absolute fantastic kit, and like I said, you close this bad boy up, you want to travel with it, nothing's getting damaged on the way. For today, though, we're just going to use our A glass and our B glass to correspond with the tags that are already on our bottles over here. We're going to pour these up, and we're going to see who moves on to the semifinal rounds of our March Madness Bourbon Bracket Single Barrel Edition. Who do you got? Listen, if you like any of the products that you see from Great Whiskey Challenge, click the link in the description below, go to their website, buy what you want to do, and use code BOTWMM as in March Madness for checkout at 10% off, as well as free shipping. Let's pour these up. So our Old Forester Single Barrel is going to be glass B, and last time I messed this up, let's get it to the pour line tonight. There we go. And of course, that means our Four Roses Single Barrel is going to be glass A, again, right to the pour line. Perfect. Maybe not perfect. All right, now it's perfect. Small details matter. Now my favorite part, we close our eyes, we mix these up so we don't know which one's which, and then we're gonna find out who's moving on. Let's do this. Seems good enough. So we're going to talk about each one of these bottles as we go, but everybody knows before we get started on all of that, time for the traditional sip. Cheers, y'all. Pretty damn good. So since Four Roses is A, let's start talking about that one first. This is Four Roses OESK. It's the 55th edition, specially selected by Fine Wine and Good Spirits. Take that with a grain of salt. I don't know how much influence they actually have in the barrels that they're getting. This is 20% rye, so it's 75% corn, 20% rye, 5% malted barley. We know that because it's the E mash bill. The K tells us the yeast strain, which is light spice. The O tells us it's Four Roses. The S tells us it's straight bourbon, and that's what we're dealing with over here. This comes in at 52.4 proof, which is what? 104.8. If anybody cares, it's warehouse QN and its barrel number 51-1U. After all that, I need another sip. Cheers. Now, here's the thing about Four Roses, right? They have 5 different yeast strains and 2 different mash bills. Together, that's 10 different combinations that they can put in a bottle here. I have OESK, I have OBSK as well. I personally want to try an OESO or an OESV. That's more of a fruit yeast strain when it comes to those particular ending yeast strains, and I think I would like that better than the K yeast strain dealing with this, or the B mash bill dealing with something a little bit spicier as well. That being said, that's what I'm expecting to get off this glass, spice. With 20% rye and a light spice on the yeast strain, that's what I can kind of expect. I gotta make sure to not drink all of this at once. Let's sip glass number 2, though, and talk a little bit more about the Old Forester Single Barrel. I don't even know what I'm getting off that. The reason I say that is because it seems a little one-dimensional compared to this right here, but it started that way last time and it almost flip-flopped at the end. So we're obviously going to finish these up and see which one we like better. But let's talk about Old Forester here. This is coming out of Brown-Forman. It's non-age stated. This particular bottle is Warehouse G, floor 5. I think I said Warehouse 6 in our intro. It kind of looks like a 6, but it's a G. And then the alcohol, the proof on this is 124.8 proof. The cool thing is this is also a Georgia WOB pick, which so was our juke joint, which won round 1. So we could technically have 2 WOB picks going up against each other to see who's going to take on the champion in the final round. The interesting thing here, though, is, again, we're dealing with very similar mash bills. 72% corn, 18% rye, 10% malted barley. So we dropped the corn content a little bit, we dropped that rye content a little bit, and we made up for that in malted barley. So I'm seeing if there's maybe a nuttiness that I can pick up on one of these. But again, we're not trying to figure out which one's which. We're just trying to figure out which one tastes better. Now here's what I'm noticing off the rip here. This is 104.8 proof. This is 124.8 proof, but they're kind of drinking at the same proof. Now I don't think this drinks 20 proof over its proof, and I don't think this drinks 20 under its proof, but I think maybe that light spice, that K on this yeast strain is maybe bumping this up into like that 110, 112 range, while this drinks so easy that it's probably bumping it down into about that same range. So that's interesting to note, but again, we're not worried about drinkability like we normally are. We're just worried about taste. So let's try these a couple more times and see who we're going to pick. I'm honestly not getting any sweet notes off of this glass right here, and I originally thought that this was the glass that was one-dimensional, but maybe it was just a follow-up on what I was getting off of this. I do want to save a little bit of this so I can come back to it at least one more time after drinking this glass, because I think that is the one that is one-dimensional, whereas this one right here is giving me a little bit more when it comes to the flavor profile. Here's what I'm getting off of these two glasses, right? This glass right here is the one-dimensional glass. This is a straight spice bomb. There's not much to it outside of the spiciness other than the ethanol kick. Now, does that mean it's the Four Roses OESK? They're not advertising any type of sweetness on this, right? They're telling you it's a high rye mash bill. They're telling you it's light spice when it comes to the yeast strain. So I'd imagine that that's probably this glass right here giving me that flavor profile. But at the end of the day, this glass right here also has kind of a very short finish. This glass, the flavor is delicious. It's just very one-dimensional. This glass, the flavor is also delicious. It's giving me a little bit more complexity when it comes to the flavor, but it's also dissipating very quickly while this one's sticking around. So it's almost like, what are you looking for here, right? This glass right here is giving you a lot of flavors, but you're kind of searching for them. While this glass is giving you a lot less flavors, but they're right there, they're in your face. You don't have to go searching for them, and they last. They stick around for a long time. I don't know which one I'm going to pick here, and we're definitely going to have to keep drinking these. The only other thing that I'm going to say about the flavor on these two glasses is this glass is also giving me a lot more age when it comes to those age notes. I'm getting a lot of dryness, a lot of tannins, a lot more oaks. While there's a little bit of oak on this, it's much more subtle. It's more my speed when it comes to the oak profile. I'm not a big oak guy. I don't like when it's overpowering. I wouldn't say it's overpowering here, but again, when all you're getting is spice, the last thing that you're going to be able to do is hide that oak note, while maybe it's hiding it a little bit better over here. This one's going to be tough. I don't know what I'm going to pick. After Selection Sunday, I sat down and I wrote the bracket out, right? I put all the names on the board and I thought to myself, do any of these bottles not stand a chance? Like, is there a different way that I should be putting these bottles up against each other because one's not that fair over the other? And there really wasn't a moment when I said to myself, that bottle's going to crush that other bottle. And this round right here, I thought from the beginning was going to be the hardest. And so far, that's kind of proving true. Now, obviously, we have a lot of rounds left to see if that continues to be true, but right now, I still don't know who I'm going to pick, and we don't have that much whiskey left. Here's the deal. At this point, I know what I've tasted, and I know which each one has to offer, so I'm going to finish these up. We're going to pick one. I think I know which one I'm going to pick. Maybe that will change at the very end here, but let's try these out one more time. Cheers, y'all. Salud. Listen, if you've made it this far in the video, make sure you click that like and that subscribe button. If you've been watching my videos for long enough, and if you're a patron or if you're somebody in my Discord and you've watched this video for the past couple of minutes, you already knew that I was probably going to pick this glass, right? We talk about it all the time, that roller coaster ride. I like the subtleness of the oak on this. I like the sweetness that I get on the front. I like the spiciness that I get in the middle. This glass, still delicious. Everything about it fantastic. But at the end of the day, it was just spice and oak, and I didn't really like that compared to what I got over here. So even though I was searching a little bit for that flavor profile, this glass right here is going to be our winner, but we got to find out which one it was. Drum roll, please. And the answer is A. My God. Ladies and gentlemen, listen, I thought from the second I drank these, and this is why people tell me, don't try to figure out which one's which. I thought from the second I drank these that this was going to be Old Forester and this was going to be Four Roses, and this is why you do it blind. This was supposed to be light spice. This was supposed to be high rye mash bill. But at the end of the day, this one over here was giving me much more of that spicy note than this one, and I don't know what happened here, but somehow Four Roses is going to be our winner. I will say I'm a little bit disappointed that the WOB picks won't be going up against each other in the semifinal rounds, but that 75% corn must have been just enough to overcome that high rye as well as that light spice on that yeast strain, because this bottle is absolutely fantastic. But listen, that's going to be it for today. Make sure you check me out on Instagram at Bourbon of the Week. Check us out next week on the 14th. We're going to start the other side of our bracket. Make sure you click that like and that subscribe button. Patreon page, link in the description below. Discord page, link in the description below. Please don't drink and drive. Always drink responsibly and stay healthy, stay happy, stay drinking. Cheers, y'all.